systems in the dead of winter, no running water, leaking roofs, inoperable appliances, inadequate snow and ice removal, and overrun garbage, just to name a few. We just celebrated the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who dedicated his life fighting for equity and justice. He taught us that even in the face of intimidation and discrimination, we must never stop working towards a better Milwaukee. Change has never been easy. It takes persistence and determination and requires all of us to speak up and stand up for what is right. That's why today we are putting landlords on notice that enough is enough. I want you to know that when you win, we all win. We need responsible landlords that make it a practice to have oversight of their buildings and do routine maintenance, hold their renters accountable, and have a high standard for quality of living. I've met many of those landlords, and I know it can be done. So, this is my call to action. Speak up. If you are experiencing issues with a landlord, please report it. Please call 414-286-CITY. It's important that we continue compiling data so that we can identify who the bad actors are. We have created a landing page if renters have no heat. city.milwaukee.gov/no heat. Go there for additional resources. I want to also make sure that there's a pathway created for renters to move into home ownership. Resources like Housing Resources, Take Root Milwaukee, the Fair Housing Council, Habitat, and a plethora of other organizations. We want to make sure those renters can be ready for home ownership. That's another pathway that we're going to utilize and figure this out. I am calling on the trades union and contractors to step up and support us in addressing repair issues. This work cannot be done without you all. I am also calling on the mayor's administration to figure out how to get DNS more staffing to support more inspectors. We were able to do it for the MPD contract. We can definitely do it for our city residents. Finally, please allow me to express my gratitude to all those who are involved in assisting with the property on 28th in Wisconsin. Department of Neighborhood Services, MPD, Department of Administration, community advocates in Milwaukee County. Thank you all so much for stepping up to figure out how to relocate a 36-unit residential building. I want to also acknowledge David Cooter, our public relations manager, for assisting and also getting the word out and getting you all here today. It was truly a team effort. I will now pass on my comments to Chief Lipsky.
Thank you, Alderwoman. Thank you, Alderwoman, and thank you to everybody assembled here today. You know, if I go into a store and I buy a toy for a young child, right on the side of that package, it tells you if there's a choking hazard involved. And they're required to do that, right? But you can go rent a building or a room or a unit in a building, and you might have heat, 10 below zero. You might have plumbing. You might have a person who you rest assured if you don't turn that rent check in time, you're going to hear from them. But when you call them at 10 below zero, you can't get them to pick a phone up. That is wildly unacceptable. That has to stop. Now, we are going to hear an awful lot in this discussion about affordable housing. You're going to hear affordable housing. I am going to tell you survivable housing, yes. Livable housing. Yes. Yeah. There are basic standards. If you are going to collect money from a person, you will provide them 4 walls, you will provide them heat, you will provide them water. Better sprinklers and fire extinguishers, but yes. Smoke alarms, but that's a whole different rant. Right now we are talking about the fact that we cannot seem to get some of our landlords in our area to pick up a phone. Answer a phone call. It's basic decency. This is what happens when you fail to do that. Now people start finding other ways to heat their spaces because heat in this weather is life-saving.
Yes.
Warmth is life-saving. It is not a creature comfort, it is just baseline. So people start to do different things. They start to open up their ovens and they turn all the knobs on, and now you've got all this carbon monoxide pumping out. You've got young children exposed to this open flame. You've got the potential for things to start on fire. People start plugging in space heaters, and now we've got fires caused by that, and we're having that already this winter. People also, believe it or not, start doing other things. They'll start grills inside of homes. Open combustion inside of a home is a terrible idea, and this is what comes from this. So we can all just say, that's exaggeration or that's hyperbole. I'm the fire chief, and I'm telling you, we're going to these calls. There are so many people that have been displaced this winter from fire and now from just unattended building systems. We are running out of spots to put people for temporary housing. I'm not 100% certain precisely who is responsible for all of this, but I can tell you what my hunch is: the person collecting the rent check. Do your part. Do your part.
I was born with my skull on the outside of my head, formed into a crown.